As we head towards the 2023 general elections, there are three divides on this particular journey. There are those that are obedient. The obedient people are people who are followers of Peter Obi, the front runner of the Labour Party presidential campaign. Then there is the obi-centric, right? The obi-centric are people who may not be direct followers of Peter Obi, but they believe in the values and principles of the man. They believe that Nigerians should be rescued from the hands of criminals, from the hands of people who do not have clues about leadership. They believe that Nigerians should be rescued. They believe that Nigerians should move away from consumption to production. There are people who also believe that power should change hands. Power should come to the south. Power should not just come to the south. Power should also come to people, a southerner who is capable. So these guys are obi-centric. They are naturally, they may not be obedient. They may not be carrying the umbrella or wearing the apron of obedient, but they are obi-centric, and they may not even say it always, right? But they are obi-centric. They believe in the values and principles that the obedient movement is running with. But publicly, they are not identifying with the brand. However, in their hearts, they are obi-centric. There's the third divide. The third divide are those who are perpetually benefited from the current situation of this country and do not want to have their hands removed from the treasure of this country. That is it. So whichever one you decide to belong, I want to show you a video of someone who may not be obedient, but of course will be centric. He believes in the values and principles. You will hear him talk. A former governor of Cross River State, a distinguished Nigerian, a man that actually put Cross River on the map, a man that went to a state and saw the potential of the state and developed that potential. Till today, Cross River State has not recovered from the huge and immense contribution of excellent and sterling leadership that Donald Duke brought to that state. He's talking now. Of course, I haven't repeating that he'll be centric bulb. He's talking. Watch this video and listen to him talk about why Nigerians should not make this mistake again of 2023. He may not have said it with his mouth that he is obedient, but of course it is clear that this man is obi-centric. Watch, and as you are watching this video, share it so that Nigerians begin to see that there is light.
Is to lend physical support to the gentleman we've come to receive. But before I go into that, I want to thank Governor Autumn for the support he has always availed us in the South. Support based not on sentiments, but on truth. A lot has been said this evening. He is an embattled governor. More often than not, you hear him talking about the injustice that is meted out to the people of the state. Injustice that is incomprehensible. But he's standing firm. So I like to refer to him as a warrior governor. Governor Wike is also of the same class. He's a warrior governor. And he stands firm for truth. What has endeared me to him, and both of them indeed, is regardless of whether you believe or accept what they're saying, you know where they stand. And that's very important. And it's a rarity in our politics today. We sway from one side to the other. Look at what is happening. I'll be specific. Let's take the four leading contestants from the northern part of our country in the PDP. These are the four gentlemen that moved across to APC and produced Buhari. Then come back and still won the ticket. But also let me focus on Atiku Abubakar. Atiku Abubakar has been contesting the presidency since 1992. Indeed, there is really no election since 1992 that he has not participated in. He ran against Abiola. In 99, he ran first as governor, then as vice president. In 2003, he picked a form. And that was the crisis, that was what led to the crisis between him and Obasanjo. 2007, he ran, I think he ran on AD or so. 11, he ran, he came back to PDP, right? He ran, was it 11? He ran in 11 against Jonathan. 15, he ran. 19, he ran. 23, he wants to run. Now only you did. A time comes when you look at it and say, it's enough. Let me be a kingmaker rather than this king. Because when people tell me that they heard from God, I've never heard from God. But you see signs of where he wants you to go. And if you keep on doing one thing or the same thing over and over again and it's not happening, then God is not with you. Leave this Abraham Lincoln story that he ran many times before he got it. He ran only 2 times and he got it. Right? So it's becoming ridiculous. And again, and this is why I respect people who say that, look, we all want the same thing. What the North wants is not different from what the South wants, right? But we all want a sense of belonging. That is the commonality between us. How do you justify, or how do we justify to our children that after 8 years of Northern leadership, we go back and have another 8 years? Ordinarily, I'm not a proponent of zoning and stuff like that, but I'm a proponent of equity. And that takes to me precedence to zoning. But even beyond that, our country is in a very desperate situation today. And you need a leader that is formidable, a leader that can make things right. Not the pandering that goes on here today. What we have in Nigeria is a very disgraceful leadership. I spoke to the president of one of the West African countries, and he said to me that the problem with West Africa, and indeed the problem with Africa, is that Nigeria is nowhere to be found. This is the general sentiment. Nigeria is nowhere to be found. We're fifth the population of the continent. We are by far the most outstanding nation of the continent. But when they look, there's just nobody. And so, whether you like Governor Wike's presentation, as he says, whether you like the way he sees it, cut the chase. Go to the crux of the matter. Is he speaking the truth? I've had calls once or twice and say, calm down. He'll tell me, I'm not going to calm down. I say, calm down. You know? He says he won't. But you see, you can never, at least from my point of view, you cannot disregard the truth in what he says. He's outspoken. But this is not the time to be quiet. He's firm. This is not the time to pander. He's resolute. This is the time to stand firm. Because too much nonsense has gone on in this country. If we don't get it right in 23, my brothers and sisters, forget this country. If we don't get it right in 23, forget this country. The Americans thought we will collapse by 11 or 14 or 15. They thought so, and they did their work. In a lot of instances, we have collapsed. Tell me one sector in Nigeria that is working. The American Secretary of State for Africa said to me, "We don't have trade with Nigeria. We hardly buy any oil from you. Our only interest in Nigeria is to keep you together. Because you guys are like a dam. If you burst, you flood all the west and Central Africa. So just keep you together." That's the interest of the Americans. That's a disgraceful thing to say about us. So my friends, I'm here because I want to put my foot forward, put my face forward, put myself forward. That there's someone I believe in. Someone I know that speaks the truth. And not the convenient truth, but the real truth. So again, I urge all of us, let's stand resolute. We're all in a desperate situation, all of us. You know, and even the people from the north are even far more desperate than we are, but they're colorblind.
Excellent. Brilliant submission. No other thing to add than to say thank you, Donald Duke. I don't know why you are still there. I don't know why Nigerians are not seeing. These are people that have been in the helm of affairs. People that have robbed. See, these guys cannot just say it. Beyond the fact that there is the impression of the fact that power should not return back to the north. These are politicians talking, right? It is not for us. We know, of course, that we are not discussing region and regionalization and politics of ethnicity and religion. That's not our discussion. Our discussion about capacity and competency, and that's what we have stood by all this time. We have chosen our candidate is capable and is competent. That is it. But these guys also know for sure, if this man was actually capable and competent, despite his attachment to a particular region, right? I'm sure that they would have overlooked it. Yeah, but for politicians, they are always stylish in their communication. But this is very clear. If we miss it this time, do you think that these guys do not know that Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Atiku Abubakar do not have the answers to the current challenge of this country? Damn! If you are driving at night, you're on a journey, and there is need for you to get a driver to drive the car now because your current driver do not have the perfect ability of driving at night. You don't give it to a learner. And that's what Obi has said this every time. And I love those words. At this moment of our national journey, we will not give the steering of our vehicle, national vehicle, to a driver without a license. And what is a license? Capacity and competence, irrespective of region, religion, and ethnicity. That is the point. That is why we must continue to share contents like this, so that everybody that is still blinded by this sentiment of no. See, I'm not scared of the North. You know why? The Northerners are also beneficiaries, and of course, with all due respect, sufferers of the current challenge of this country. We are all in this mess together. If it gets better for us, it will get better for everybody. If it gets worse, it will get worse. So forget about the story of the North will not vote. Why will any man, Sam Loko Efe, the late veteran Hollywood actor, he said, you see river, you jump, you enter inside, you be feast. It is a river that these guys want us to jump into, but we are refusing to. We don't need it. Build bridge for us to climb. Thank you very much. Let's continue to sensitize. Let's continue to campaign. Let's continue to tell ourselves the truth. You may not be obedient, but you are obi-centric. You believe in the values and principles of effective and efficient leadership. And that's what we have. Tell me any of these guys that have the competency and the capability and the ability and the followership. You guys all don't speak English. I'm sure Kenya has taught you guys a lesson that you can be relevant on social media and still win elections. You can be told by the ruling house or the ruling party or the ruling cabal that you do not have structure and you will still go and win the election. Humans are the structure, and we are seeing it every day. And because of the situation of this country and what Peter B has put, the pressure he has put on these politicians, they are beginning to go and read. Let's not forget that Bola Ahmed Tinubu had to make a nationwide broadcast on the International Youth Day with an empty shelf, without books. He doesn't read. Without books. You have to create an ambience of why were there no books in the shelf? You are not used to it. Excuse me. Please, let's share this video. Let us tell Nigerians that enough is enough. If we don't get it right now, we will never get it right again. 2023 is the year for us. We must take it by force.